From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
This week, the goal of the Republican National Convention has been to unite the party behind Donald Trump. Our team of reporters in Cleveland look into how the Republican Party is now trying to come together.
And the Republican nominee is hours away from delivering his speech. We ask Arizona delegates what they hope to hear tonight.
Plus, how a dance class for women is helping relieve the fear of being a first-time mom.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Christina Tatro.
And I'm Blair McElroy. Thanks for joining us.
Today's day 4 of the Republican National Convention. And on this last day, the theme is Make America One Again. But party unity may have gotten off to a bit of a rocky start. Cronkite News reporter Megan Finnerty joins us live from above the convention floor.
It isn't a shock that Senator Ted Cruz isn't a fan of the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. But it was a shock last night when he didn't endorse the Republican nominee. But that may just be what brings the party together. Senator Ted Cruz was booed off the stage last night on the third night of the Republican National Convention when Cruz did not endorse Trump. Rather, he called for a better future. Despite what the headlines call a party of disarray, Arizona delegates call it the picture of unity.
It's really kind of helped unify the majority of the party because if you weren't quite Trump people before, you kind of are now.
The week didn't begin well for unity in the GOP when the floor erupted Monday over a rules vote. The nays felt they weren't heard and demanded a roll call vote. That was denied. But as the convention went on, those hurt feelings seemed to fade. And when Ted Cruz took the stage, delegates say it was a bonding moment.
I think he unified our party in a strange sense of the word. I saw people that had not been speaking for months come together last night and understand and realize that this is not about one man.
As the convention closes tonight, today's theme is Make America One Again. Ron Lutters from Phoenix wants to gain a sense of purpose and direction for the party from Trump's acceptance speech.
Republicans are very idealistic people, and when we see strong policy, I think we can unite behind that. It's not just a personality thing.
Before the RNC, Arizona delegates feared that the party would not unify behind the nominee. But after last night, that's exactly what they said happened. Live above the floor at the RNC, I'm Megan Finnerty, Cronkite News.
Looking ahead at tonight, the last night of the Republican National Convention, we've learned that Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio is expected to speak at 5 p.m. Arizona time. Arpaio has been a vocal supporter of the campaign. He tweeted today that it will be an honor to speak before Trump at the convention. And Melania Trump will also make an appearance for the first time since her primetime speech went viral Monday.
Of course, the headliner will be presidential nominee Donald Trump. He's expected to take the stage to formally accept the nomination this evening. Cronkite News reporter Crandall Brantley spoke to Arizona delegates about what they expect to hear from their candidate tonight.
The Republican National Convention will wrap up in downtown Cleveland this evening with the week's most anticipated speech from Donald Trump. Several Arizona delegates say that Trump has energized the party.
He just brings out that enthusiasm. I remember when I turned 18 was when Ronald Reagan was running, and Reagan brought out that enthusiasm that made you proud to be an American. And I think that Trump does that. He does that with me.
But they are hoping for more than just Trump's rallying cry and attacks on Hillary Clinton. They want more substance on his own policies this evening on the economy, education, and immigration reform.
I'm sure the American people already know what Hillary has done and hasn't done during her whole tenure as an elected official. So I think now we play up to our positives, we unite the party, and that he delivers a message that will let us leave here more unified, even more unified than we are now.
Some people feel we've kind of gone a little too far towards the div, the root word of divide or diversity, and we need to really get back to our origins, which is uni or united or the United States, unity. So, and that's the message that I pick up from him. The question will be if he's able to translate that message to the rest of the country in a way that they'll understand it.
Republican delegates, along with the rest of the country, will hear Trump as the last speaker at tonight's convention. In downtown Cleveland, Crandall Brantley, Cronkite News.
Though he doesn't officially accept it until tonight, it's been 2 days since Trump's official nomination, and the Arizona campaign is already taking shape.
We do have coalitions that we're building. We have a Hispanics for Trump coalition, Women for Trump, Veterans for Trump, business people, individuals for Trump. We have a very good, strong grassroots that we're building right now. All of the counties, in fact, we have one of the county chairmen standing right here that's organizing our Graham County for Trump. So each county has their own organizer, and I believe that we're going to have a huge grassroots turnout.
Another key demographic that's creating some stark divisions for the Trump campaign is the Muslim vote. Cronkite News reporter Wafa Shahed has details on the meetings in Cleveland today.
Even though Muslim activists say not many Muslims were present at the Republican National Convention, the ones who were made it a point to stand firmly by their cause, whether they were for Trump or against him.
Why don't you guys talk to each other? I know the Quran.
Islamophobia is funny, but Islamophobia is not.
Many of the Muslims who are protesting against Trump say they feel attacked by Trump's message.
He's disrespected my entire existence as a Muslim, as a Latino.
And one of the Muslims protesting is from Arizona.
I think he's responsible for a great deal of rhetoric that you can't take back, violence, anger, and you see it on the streets here in Cleveland.
But Muslims supporting Trump felt that the opposition simply doesn't understand what the Republican nominee stands for.
He's not against Islam, but he wanted to save America, wanted to make America a safest country again. That's what his objective is.
So whether it's Sikh or Muslims or Hindus or Mexicans or any other immigrant minority population, everybody thinks that Trump is not good for them, which is not true.
Muslims for Trump said their message to the opposition is simple.
So I want these Muslims to look into their own color and open up their minds, stop being having a tunnel vision, and realize like they are already reformed and we are on the same page. We are on the same team.
Even though both groups have radically different opinions on Trump, they found a common ground in wishing that more Muslims were present.
I have seen very few Muslims, very few Pakistanis at the convention, which is sad.
We can make a statistical difference if we vote in high numbers.
Muslim activists will convene again in Philadelphia next week at the Democratic National Convention. In Cleveland, I'm Wafa Shahed, Cronkite News.
There's also big news this evening in the business world. Roger Ailes is out as chief executive at Fox News Channel and Fox Business Network, the media empire he created. Fox announced that Ailes would resign immediately, following allegations that he forced a former anchor out of her job after she rejected his sexual advances. Rupert Murdoch will assume the role of chairman and acting CEO until a replacement is named.
According to the American Medical Association, 1 in every 7 women are diagnosed with a type of postpartum disorder.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how one ballet instructor is helping these women dance away their baby blues.
And an update on the Phoenix serial shooter. What's being done now to help catch the shooter?
It's summertime on PBS. What's coming up? You'll never guess. We'll meet some famous presidents and tour their famous residents. We're going to shake the family tree to search our genealogy. Detective teams are out in force. Inspector Lewis and Deborah Morse. We'll leap into the clear blue sky to see how nature's creatures fly. And fireworks? The answer's yes. It's summertime on PBS.
Introducing Classical Arizona PBS, your classical music connection. On TV, listen to Classical Arizona PBS on digital channel 8.4. On the go, download the free Classical Arizona PBS app to stream performances. Find out about classical concerts and watch exclusive videos. Download the free Classical Arizona PBS app, then follow Classical Arizona PBS on Facebook and Twitter for news, photos, and events near you. Classical Arizona PBS, your classical music connection.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule.
where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule.
Hi, I'm Charlie Rose. As part of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at ASU, Arizona PBS is providing a state-of-the-art venue for the next generation of journalists. From newsrooms in Washington, Los Angeles, and here in Phoenix, students engage in real-time, real-world news reporting, broadcast production, and online innovation. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS working together in new ways to bridge the classroom to the community in the digital age.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Hey, would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go
As the investigation into the Phoenix serial shooter continues, city officials and Univision Arizona will be teaming up to host a live call-in show tomorrow night to help with the case. The show will feature a panel discussion and questions from a live audience. Viewers will be able to call in tips and questions during the show, which will broadcast between 5 and 7 p.m. If you have any information on the Phoenix serial shooter, please call Phoenix PD or Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS.
Another police shooting incident has been put online, this time in North Miami, Florida. The Monday shooting involves Charles Kinsey, a mental health professional at a group home. Here he is in the street trying to get an upset autistic patient off the ground and back inside. Police say someone called 911 saying there was a man walking around with a gun, but no gun was found. Kinsey says he was pleading with cops to stand down when one of them shot him. North Miami Police Chief Gary Eugene says his department strives towards transparency and is getting to the bottom of this.
We, as a city, and as a member of this police department, and I personally have questions. I assure you, we will get all the answers.
The officer who shot Kinsey is on administrative leave. Eugene says the department has turned the case over to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the state's attorney.
The Arizona Department of Transportation is warning Arizonans to be careful when buying used cars in private sales. The warning comes after someone stole 1,300 blank vehicle titles from a third-party motor licensing business back in late May. ADOT says that the stolen documents can be used to retitle stolen or salvaged cars. ADOT says you should ask lots of questions and check the vehicle ID number before buying a used car.
Authorities say a 17-year-old boy has died after being struck by lightning near the summit of Humphreys Peak in northern Arizona. Coconino County Sheriff's officials say a group of 3 hikers from Tempe called 911 shortly before 1 p.m. yesterday, asking for help during a heavy monsoon storm. The other 2 hikers were transported to Flagstaff Medical Center to treat injuries related to the storming.
A little rock and roll is helping cure the soul of new moms. I met with one Valley fitness instructor who is helping shake away the fear and anxiety of parenthood and postpartum disorders. Step, shake, and roll. 3 moves that are helping Alexis Conrad rock away the fear of having her first baby.
Our heart rates get up, so
There's just that energy and just all the positive vibes and everything.
Rock Me Baby is all about moms and their little ones. A new class using a mix of traditional exercise and dance moves for women both during and after pregnancy.
Promoting that close bonding time, keeping that baby in that natural environment close to them, promotes security. And when that baby feels secure and calm, that baby can continue, like I said, to thrive and to grow.
Just kind of keeps us both calm and happy, and that's what you really want to be your entire pregnancy as much as possible.
Instructor Lindsay Robertson has been working in prenatal care for over 10 years. She says keeping that close bond with your child is one way to help many effects of postpartum.
Also really helps mom's anxieties, her fears, and just that adjustment period really is the hardest time after giving birth.
And for Alexis, working up a sweat is more than worth it for the most beautiful reward.
I try to focus on the end result with that little baby boy in my arms.
When visiting the class, each of the women told me that their favorite part of these types of group classes is being around other women who are going through the same things as them. Rock Me Baby classes are held at Fit Method Gym in Gilbert.
The millennial vote has already had huge implications in this year's presidential election.
And some younger Arizonans are already making their mark at the Republican National Convention. Coming up on Cronkite News, we'll hear from two first-time voters who also happen to be delegates from Arizona.
And we'll introduce you to ASU's beach volleyball coach, who stands 6'8" and is married to an Olympic gold medal favorite.
When I was 12 years old, I was watching great performances on PBS. This program with Nureyev came on. Nureyev in a performance of Le Corsaire, and I was amazed and awestruck. I really wanted to do it. I was street dancing at the time, and I never thought of formal dance until I saw great performances. I knew that I was really a novice to dance, like high dance. I decided to check out the High School Performing Arts. And so one thing led to the next. Today, as a recognized dancer, I absolutely believe that when I saw the performance, it affected me tremendously. And I know that's what happens when I teach. I'm opening an option for them that they hadn't seen before.
The easiest and best way to support Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Throughout its history, Arizona PBS and volunteers have enjoyed a rich and rewarding partnership. Whether answering phones during our pledge campaigns, stuffing envelopes, or assisting with special events, volunteering is fun and provides excellent work experience, team building for a group, and a sense of community involvement and importance. If you would like to volunteer, or if you have dropped off our mailing list, we encourage you to call the number on your screen or go online at azpbs.org/volunteer. Thank you.
When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online. Become a news source for the Arizona PBS Public Insight Network. Your ideas and insights can help us create relevant and distinctive reporting. Join now at azpbs.org/pin.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
One dream ended, but being cut from one sports team opened up a whole new world for ASU's new beach volleyball coach. Reporter Giselle Cancio from our Los Angeles Sports Bureau met with the coach to learn his story.
When Brad Keenan got cut from the baseball team during his freshman year of high school, he never imagined he'd be one of the nation's top recruits for volleyball going into college. Twice National Player of the Year at Pepperdine, a decade playing professionally on the beach. Now, head coach of the beach volleyball program at Arizona State.
I've been looking for about a year and a half, trying to find assistant coaching jobs, and this one just kind of fell in my lap a little bit. Great big school, Pac-12.
Although his introduction to volleyball was indoors, postgraduate, he made a living on the sand courts.
The beach is a lot nicer on the body. Landing in soft sand is much better than landing on the floor.
Arizona State's beach volleyball program is only 3 years young, but Keenan and his assistant coaches are ready to work with the players to ensure success on the sand.
All the girls coming in will be strictly beach volleyball, so I think it'll be good that the girls already have kind of like the basics down of beach volleyball, where this year I think I'm going to be having to go over a lot of some of the basic just movements.
Keenan has been a volunteer coach for the USA Women's Indoor National Team and a graduate assistant coach at Concordia University, where he earned his master's degree in exercise and sports science. However, in his new position, he must adjust his approach to coaching.
I don't get to be the player's friend, like as much as I was an assistant. I was kind of like the buffer between the head coach, and now I have assistant coaches that will kind of be a little buffer between me and the athletes. I'll be a little tougher on the kids just because I got to be the one in charge now.
Between recruitment and the start of the school year, Keenan will be in Rio supporting his wife, April Ross, who is playing with Carrie Walsh-Jennings in the Olympic Beach Tournament. For the Cronkite Sports Bureau in Los Angeles, I'm Giselle Cancio.
As day 4 at the Republican National Convention continues, we continue to bring you team coverage.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we talk to some of the youngest delegates in Cleveland from right here in Arizona.
We are here tonight to issues.
You've got to have people around you who aren't just laying rose petals in front of your way. And I kid you not, this is true.
Trust is everything.
This has been so much fun.
It's about reaching people.
There are more players on the world stage. The issues are more complex.
We ask the questions that take us closer to the truth.
What happened and what might happen.
Because that's what we did.
Would you like doing something like I do? I couldn't do this. I'm not qualified. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
When I was 12 years old, I was watching great performances on PBS. This program with Nureyev came on. Nureyev in a performance of Le Corsaire, and I was amazed and awestruck. I really wanted to do it. I was street dancing at the time, and I never thought of formal dance until I saw great performances. I knew that I was really a novice to dance, like high dance. I decided to check out the High School Performing Arts. And so one thing led to the next. Today, as a recognized dancer, I absolutely believe that when I saw the performance, it affected me tremendously. And I know that's what happens when I teach. I'm opening an option for them that they hadn't seen before.
Don't forget that you and your collectibles are the stars of this show.
Between $2,000 and $2,500.
In excess of $15,000.
Wow. It's close to $10,000 right now.
Well, $100,000 wouldn't even be a down payment on this painting.
Oh, good.
Never thought it'd be that.
Yeah.
$1,200 to $1,500 at fair market value.
Join us for the next taping of Arizona Collectibles. Go to azpbs.org/collectibles to submit your items today.
The Republican National Convention drew in young and old delegates from around the country, but the Arizona delegation had some of the youngest delegates. Cronkite News reporter Wafa Shahid spoke with two 18-year-old Republicans about their experience.
It's kind of unbelievable. I mean, we were
We were just in government class this past year learning about national conventions and all, and the political process.
Rob McCutcheon and Amanda Flores said their goal is to represent millennials in a room full of older Republicans.
We're the people that are eventually going to live in this world that, you know, people a lot older than us are making the decisions for, and so I want to be, you know, in the room where the decisions are made.
The millennial generation, they're not as involved as previous generations, but I do think there's a lot of potential there, especially as of late. There's been a lot of interest there. You have a lot of smaller grassroots movements.
They stressed that basic civil engagement is all it takes to make a difference.
You don't have to run to be a delegate. You don't have to be a politician, but at least take the time to become familiar with the people who are running for office.
High-profile Republicans at the convention agreed that millennial involvement is vital.
Donald Trump, again, has opened up the discussion box. He's made it so people talk way more. My daughter's 12 years old, Faith, and Faith tells me that almost every day at lunch or in school or when she's playing with her friends, doing different things, they talk about politics. When does that happen? When have kids been so interested? She credits it to Donald Trump.
Whenever you're reaching out and building a party and a movement, you want to continue to reach out for the young vote, and that's something you'll definitely see out of our administration.
No matter the winner, their first presidential election will be one they never forget. In Cleveland, I'm Wafa Shahid, Cronkite News.
The young delegates said being at the convention has inspired them to continue efforts in their communities.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon in PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we will have analysis of the Republican National Convention with local political consultants here in studio and live via satellite from Cleveland. A convention wrap-up on the next Arizona Horizon.
I'm Gwen Eiffel on the next NewsHour, our special NPR PBS NewsHour coverage of the Republican National Convention's final night. That's Thursday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.arizonapbs.org.